the skate of Kachuk in front. Patterson scores! Drake Patterson ties it. Bedard shoots with a left hand score! Brady Kachuk taps it in. With Stutzla scores! Safety first! Out in front. Stop! Back the other way, in on the clear and scores. End to end. Oh! Drake Batherson wins it in overtime. Brady Kachuk, breakaway shoots, scores!
Welcome to SENS Talk. My name is Brandon and I am your host. Today is the day we've been waiting for months. The regular season starts today as Ottawa takes on the Buffalo Sabres tonight. It's Craig Anderson versus Anton Forsberg. But before we get into the game recap, I want to talk about SENS Talk and what this year really means. If you didn't know already, this is the 10th season of SENS Talk. It's unbelievable. In 2013, my friend Noah and I started this channel, and 10 years later, we're still here making content for you guys. So thank you, of course, to everyone watching this right now for your continued support. But for the 10th season of SENS Talk, we got a lot of exciting things coming your way. So before we get into today's video, I just want to discuss those things real quick. So firstly, we will be uploading 3 times a week. We're going to have a much more consistent upload schedule. This means we're going to upload a video usually on Monday and Wednesday, with a video sprinkled in later on a Thursday, Friday, and or during the weekend. So 3 videos a week is likely what we're going to put out during the season. Now, I won't be doing a game recap after every single game, but rest assured, I'll be doing as many games as I can. It's just, I'm in college now. I just graduated from university. I got a lot of stuff on my plate right now. But of course, I'm going to be making as many game recaps as possible because that's what I've been doing for the last 10 years. I know you guys love those, so I'll be making as many as I can. Now, as well, it is our 10th year anniversary, so we're going to have some special content, so stay on the lookout for that, probably in the coming months. Our anniversary date technically is April 1st, 2013, so we'll probably do something in April 1st, 2023, but we also have some special content coming your way to celebrate this 10th anniversary, which means new content such as new shows, a live show potentially coming soon, much more live content, and I don't really know how to describe this, but we got some documentary type stuff coming your way too, covering the Ottawa Senators. A lot of fun stuff coming your way, so I'm really excited to bring that to you. Now, with all that said, let's get into tonight's game recap as Ottawa today takes on the Buffalo Sabres in game number 1 of the 2022-2023 regular season. And here are some pre-game notes. Firstly, Tim Stutzla and Josh Norris, they swap spots. Stutzla is on the first line, Norris is on the second line with DeBrincat and Giroux. Sanderson as well played his first NHL game today. Congratulations to Sandman. He looked very good, and we'll talk about that later. As well, Artem Zub was doubtful for today's game, but he did play, which means Nikita Zaitsev was scratched. As well, Brassard and Dylan Gambrell were the forward scratches. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Anton Forsberg started for the Ottawa Senators. And for Buffalo, it was Senator legend Craig Anderson. What a game Craig Anderson had. But it didn't start off great for him because Ottawa, right off the bat in the first period of play to start the regular season, was fantastic. They had a strong forecheck in the first few minutes of play, really playing a lot of pressure on the Sabre players, really boxing them out and pushing them to the corners and to the boards, really forcing them to turn over the puck. And guess what? 10 minutes in, Eric Bransford with a beautiful backhand saucer pass. He finds Drake Batherson trailing along the left boards. Batherson sees Kachuk going through the middle. Batherson feeds the captain, and the captain puts it home. Ottawa strikes first, and they get their first goal of the season. Of course, it's the captain, Brady Kachuk. He gets the last goal of last season, and he gets the first goal of this season. Ottawa leads 1-0, and after 20 minutes of play, they continue the lead. It's a 1-0 lead after 20 minutes of play, and some first period notes, and this is kind of where things go downhill for Ottawa after the first period. But after the first period, before the second and third started, things were looking good for Ottawa. Forsberg was playing great, really tracking the puck well. Ottawa was doing a great job forechecking. Their top six alone had 5 or 6 dangerous chances. DeBrincat really got a couple good looks on Anderson there. And most importantly, Brandstrom really impressed me that period on the blue line. He had a big assist to get the opening goal for Ottawa. And of course, he had some good, strong, controlled exits out of the zone. And he wasn't getting knocked off the puck either, which has been a big problem for Brandstrom throughout his NHL career. So throughout the game, Brandstrom really, really impressed me. But right off the bat, especially in that first period, he was noticeable. Now let's get to the second period of play. And 5 minutes in, this is where things really start to change for Ottawa. Matthew Joseph loses the puck, and Ottawa can't recover. Hamnick loses his man. He has to tie him up here. He doesn't. 1-1 game. It's JJ Peterka. Of course, his first NHL goal, because Ottawa always gives up goals to players that don't have NHL goals yet. It's the tradition that continues. Even if Ottawa has new players, Ottawa will always give up goals to players seeking their first NHL goal. In fact, it's funny, the season opener in 2015, I think, Jack Eichel got his first NHL goal against Ottawa too, so it's kind of funny how that works. But 3 minutes later, the Senators continue to be rattled. They're flying around. They're chasing the puck. They can't get any cohesion. And guess what? That ends up biting them. Brandstrom and Holden get caught puck watching. Dahlin is out front, puts it in, 2-1 Sabres, and suddenly Ottawa is down by a goal to the Buffalo Sabres. And with less than 10 minutes to go in the second period of play, Ottawa gets an extended 5-on-3 power play. So you're probably thinking to yourself, with Ottawa's key acquisitions they brought in this offseason, this is the time for them to strike and tie this game and get Ottawa back and rolling. But nope, in fact, the Buffalo Sabres got more opportunities than Ottawa on this extended 5-on-3 power play late in the second period of play, and Ottawa just looked sloppy on that power play. Batherson and DeBrincat, I think, collided at least once and gave the Sabres a 2-on-1 attack. I mean, it was just terrible second period for Ottawa, and after 40 minutes of play, the Sabres lead by a goal. It's 2-1, and suddenly, for Sens fans like myself, sitting there, I'm like, what the hell is going on? Forsberg is standing on his head, which is, of course, encouraging, but the offense in the second period looked lost, especially after the first period where the offense was really playing well, having some really, really crisp passes. But in the second period, for whatever reason, things just fell apart. I don't quite understand why. And I really, really need to see more from Ottawa's bottom six. I mean, the first period, all 4 lines were rolling well, but in the second period, the bottom 6 really struggled, and I'm talking really struggled. Shane Pinto and Tyler Mott did not impress me whatsoever in that second period of play. Matthew Joseph, however, was the only player in the bottom 6 that really did impress me. His speed led to a couple of penalties being called on the Sabres and a couple of scoring chances too. So Joseph had a solid game. But after 40 minutes of play, not impressed whatsoever. We go to the third period, and this is where beast mode Craig Anderson really takes over. He plays dominant. Ottawa throws everything on net, just can't beat him. Craig Anderson even had a flying poke check on Tim Stützle, and it didn't go in. I mean, it's unbelievable. Craig Anderson was doing everything to keep the puck out of the net, and he did. And you know what? He deserved that win. And honestly, unlike Matt Murray and the Leafs the other day, where as a Sens fan, maybe you can cheer on the Leafs losing, even if we're playing against Buffalo and it's, Craig Anderson in net, I cannot say this enough. I love Craig Anderson. So happy to see him playing well and getting starting minutes and succeeding there in Buffalo with a young, solid team there in Buffalo. And it was vintage Craig Anderson tonight as he shuts the door as Ottawa loses the season opener. They lose to the Buffalo Sabres 4-1. A couple of empty net goals there in the third period of play really ends this one, and can't believe it. Ottawa falls to the Sabres 4-1, and they really played well for the first period of play. They looked like the team we were expecting, got that opening goal, and then things just fell apart defensively. And it's really unfortunate as I take a look at my game notes here. I mean, some of the defensemen tonight really played well. I mean, Jake Sanderson, his first ever NHL game, looked like a seasoned veteran out there. So calm with the puck, so poised, so confident. It's unbelievable for such a young prospect like Jake Sanderson to play like he did. Especially under pressure, I was really impressed. Not nervous, not rushing the play, took his time, and clean zone exits. Solid game from Jake Sanderson. Erik Brandstrom, had a fantastic game. I would argue one of his better games as an Ottawa Senator ever. I mean, if Brandstrom plays like that throughout the regular season, watch out NHL. Unbelievable game from Erik Brandstrom, especially the fact that he looked much better physically. Really good at boxing players out and not getting knocked off the puck. These were some key issues Brandstrom was facing throughout the season last year and throughout his NHL career so far. So it's really great to see that that's kind of stopped. Artem Zub looked fine. Shabbat looked a little shaky at times, to be honest with you. And Holden was fine, I guess. I mean, he had that goal with Brandstrom to give Dahlin that goal to give the Sabres a 2-1 lead. And of course, Hamnick got boxed out on that first one for Peterka. So overall, is a bit of a shaky defensive game there for Ottawa. A couple of bright spots, though, of course, with Brandstrom and Sanderson. And in goal, Forsberg stood on his head. I mean, he made at least 8 to 10 fantastic stops. I mean, Ottawa was only in this game because of Anton Forsberg, which is something I said maybe 1,000 times last year. So hopefully that's not the case throughout this regular season again. But Craig Anderson was such a stud for Buffalo. It's impossible to score against guys like that when they're playing that well. So for Ottawa tonight, they lose 4-1. It's a tough loss on the road to start the season. But guess what? They get back at it on Saturday against Matt Murray and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Prime bounce-back game. It's Saturday Night Hockey in Toronto against their former top goaltender. I mean, Battle of Ontario. The stage is set. So that's going to be a huge rebound game. I'm excited to watch that one. That goes this Saturday against the Leafs. But before we wrap up today's video, let's take a look at the SENS Talk Star of the Night. So the SENS Talk Star of the Night, voted by you, the fans, is as follows. In fourth place, with 3% of the vote, it is the captain, Brady Tkachuk, getting the lone goal in the night for Ottawa. In second place, tied, is Erik Brandstrom and Anton Forsberg at 31%. Shocking, not because Jake Sanderson, who is the SENS Talk Star of the Night, doesn't deserve to win the SENS Talk Star of the Night, but because Anton Forsberg was such a stud. But the SENS Talk Star of the Night is Jake Sanderson with 35% of the vote. There is 355 votes at the time of this recording right here. So that is quite a lot of people that believe Jake Sanderson was the best player on the ice for Ottawa. I can't say he wasn't. Can't disagree with the fans, of course, but I would say I am shocked Forsberg didn't get the nod here because Forsberg made 8 to 10 bell stops. But yeah, Sanderson, fantastic game, like I already mentioned. For her first NHL game, he looked like a guy that's been in the NHL for 500 games. Really calm, composed, and very good at the controlled exits. So for Jake Sanderson, could not have asked for a better start to his NHL career. I'm excited to see what he can do on Saturday and throughout the regular season. I also want to mention this one more time. Ottawa's bottom six did not impress me tonight. Only Matthew Joseph really wowed me. Really need to see them do better on Saturday against the Toronto Maple Leafs. But besides that, I will see you on Saturday against the Toronto Maple Leafs for the next game recap. Hopefully we have some better news for that one. But besides that, it's great to be back. It's great to be doing these again. Love making these game recaps, and I hope you enjoyed it. So thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. How did you feel after tonight's loss against the Buffalo Sabres? Besides that, thank you all for watching. I appreciate your support, and I'll see you in the next one. Go Sens Go.